I think with or without Lamar, they were going to be in a little bit deep in a very tough spot going on the road against a very desperate Baltimore team coming off bye with its defense much healthier than it's been in recent weeks. That said, had they done a few things differently, if they eliminate some penalties, and if you get sevens instead of threes, Jurko's rule and law of threes and sevens and threes really came back to bite the Bears in this game. So maybe if they're a little bit more efficient in a few areas and they cut down on the penalties, this thing's there for the taking at the end, Yerk, but a missed opportunity, I guess, in a lot of ways without the
sevens
the
and threes
plan.
and threes and sevens affected the Bears. It affected Pittsburgh last night, too.
Yeah.
That's the type of silliness. You got to be able to put the ball in the end zone. After dominating the first quarter the way the Bears did offensively and only coming out with 2 field goals, then watching Baltimore take the ball all the way down and get 7 points, and you're a 7-6 loser after dominating the game in the first quarter, that's when you start scratching your head a little bit and going, oh, boy, what the hell's going on? Get the ball back. 3 plays, minus 16 yards in the next possession.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you're reeling a little bit. And there's no reason in the world for you to have to be reeling. You get the possession before the half. Whatever happens, whatever official calls are made, you end up getting the ball back to the, 59-yard field goal?
58
so
or 59.
From the 42 or the 41, you snap it back there. Cairo Santos has never hit that big of a kick before for the Chicago Bears, has he? 58, 59-yarder?
I don't know what his career long is. I mean, I don't think that's really much 50, in his range.
55 for the Bears. I think it's out of his range. He's got to kick the ball absolutely perfect to get it there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just you had a chance early to snuff out whatever flame Baltimore had going on. You could have taken the crowd out of the game. You could have taken everybody out of the game. And instead of doing that, now you got into the red zone the first time. The second time, you got it down to the 22. Mm-hmm. You didn't even make it into the red zone. You bogged down at that point.
You bogged down, Yerk. Yeah. So. Cairo's longest field goal in his career, by the way, is 55 yards.
Yeah.
Cairo Santos is not making a 58 or a 59
No, he's
yarder.
not. He's very
especially like
kicker.
in a fire drill when everybody's running onto the field. At
very
the end.
accurate kicker from 52 yards and in.
Yes.
At 55, he's starting to stretch it a little bit.
Yeah.
At 59 or 58, it was absolutely
no, it's probably
ridiculous.
not going to happen.
But he didn't. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. I agree.
It's not even remotely close. Cairo Santos, Jake Moody, not even remotely close that they lost. Injuries on the defensive side of the ball has changed your defense from a once reliable defense at the corner position, the strength at the beginning of the year, to where it is an obvious and painful weakness.
And you just don't have much of a pass rush. Sweat's been a little bit better here in recent weeks. First play of the game, you lose Dominique Robinson. Still no Austin Booker. I would anticipate he's going to get, if he doesn't get activated by tomorrow, if I'm understanding correctly, he's done for the year. That'd be stunning to me. You opened up this window. He's been practicing.
Well, with the injuries you have now, you're not going to have a choice.
You have
Both
to.
Robinson and Stewart are out.
Yes, they both
those
got
are your
knocked
two
out
main
yesterday.
backups. Those are your two main backups. I mean, Daniel Hardy, theoretically, is a guy that you've had active, and he plays on the special teams. I think he's listed as a defensive end. He looks more like a linebacker, but he's listed as a defensive end. So Daniel Hardy'd be another guy you could bring up off the edge.
But you don't have much of a pass rush, and now as your secondary has been decimated, and you're going to play 3 more games at least without Kyler Gordon. Hopefully Stevenson gets back soon, but there's no return in sight for Jalen Johnson. He had surgery for crying out loud in his groin. That's going to be a while. Who knows with Kyler Gordon how long this is going to be. Hopefully it's no more than just 3 more games. But to your point, without those key elements in your back end and without much of a pass rush opposite Montez, and he's been a little bit better as of late, but he's not Myles Garrett, let's face it. Where's it going to come from on this defense?
And I think Hooper does get active. He can't be that worse than Dial. It's hard to believe anybody could be worse than Dial. Okay? I mean, that's realistic.
Never mind that $40 million.
I mean, let's try Austin Booker, and let's see if he can do it against the big boys. We saw him do it against the backups. Let's see if he can do it against the big boys.
Yeah.
I mean, at least give him a chance, because I know what Dial's going to do. He keeps going to the toolbox, and there's one tool there. It's a sledgehammer. That's all he has. And he brings it every single time, and every single time, because you're going against NFL linemen, he gets stymied at the line of scrimmage. Now, they gave Gervin Dexter the sack yesterday, but Grady Jarrett had a great bull rush. I mean, he put the guy right in the quarterback's lap.
Yes, he did.
That's the way you have to do it. I don't know if Grady Jarrett is capable of doing that 30 times a game.
I don't know. At this age, I don't think he is.
At this age with that knee, but you know what? He can muster up the strength and the gumption to go ahead and get it done the time it needed to get done which was wonderful. It forced them into a field goal after that sack. They gave it to Dexter, but
They did.
boy, I tell you, Grady Jarrett looked like he had him around the waist also when they went to the ground. A little 50-50 love would have been nice.
Yeah, the Bears continue to get off to good starts. The script has been great on these opening drives. Ben Johnson's completely fixed one of the biggest problems this offense had a year ago.
Yeah.
The Bears were the worst team by a mile in the NFL a year ago, offensively, in most metrics, certainly in their efficiency metrics in the first quarters of games. They were worst in the NFL by a mile. And Ben Johnson has fixed a lot of that. The Bears' drop back EPA in the first quarters of games this year ranks 12th in the NFL. It falls to 20th in quarters 2, 3, and 4. As Brad Biggs pointed out in the Tribune today, on the first 2 drives of games this year, the Bears are averaging a very impressive 2.78 points per drive. After that, it falls to 2.08. That is a significant drop-off. What is happening after these first couple drives when Ben can kind of scheme things up and script it? And maybe if you do a deep dive of most teams, this naturally happens. The good play callers can really get a lot out of those first 2 drives, and the defenses in this league are good. Teams are scouted well. They start adjusting on the sideline a little bit. They start getting an idea, okay, this is what they're doing. This is how we'll kind of counter it. But why the drop-off, you think, Eric? What is it that's happening?
Well, the other teams start to adjust on what you're doing maybe a little bit. Did you see the toss play at all yesterday? Once?
No, and you've mentioned that had become part of the repertoire here in the last couple of weeks, and they've been successful. I wonder if DeAndre Swift's not a little bit more beat up than we think. Look, he's been on the injury report the last 2 weeks. He had his fewest number of touches in any game this year.
Yep.
He had just 11 carries. And I wonder, what's going on? Why don't they get involved? He might be a little bit more injured than we think.
My idea was
but anyway,
he takes his first 15.
Yeah.
When he goes through them, he gets a marker out, he scratches it out and puts second 15 on there and just rerun the sheet again. Is that not a bad idea?
I mean, maybe because the opening script has been very good.
First 15, put a marker out, and then put second 15. When you get second 15, put third 15 on there.
It's been very good.
And just rerun the plays that have been successful early on.
Yeah.
I know that's a little more rudimentary, and I'm being a little bit of a smartass there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does seem to be like, hey, there are no first quarter woes. Woo, great.
Then,
there are still red zone woes.
Yes, terrible.
You're still getting down there, and you're not being able to get the ball into the end zone. You can't sneak the quarterback sneak. Then you got a wide receiver that's wide open. You can't hit him. It was much, much too late. It wouldn't have made a difference anyway. But scoring touchdowns, they sure are nice. And multiplying by sevens. I've done it as a kid, as a child, forever. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49.
That's right, Eric.
56, 63, 70. I can go all the way up there because I loved doing it as a child. And every once in a while, the Bears would score 63 points in their lifetime. And when they did, it was fun. And that's how I learned my multiplications. But multiply it by 3 sucks, guys.
Yes,
3,
it does.
6, 9, 12, 15,
that sucks.
18. It sucks.
That sucks.
You can sit there and multiply all day. It doesn't seem like you get anywhere.
Like you said,
you don't get anywhere.
To kind of dominate the first quarter the way you did, and then to be down so early into that second quarter, you're like, man, what happened? The Bears are at 47.8% in the red zone on the year. That's 26th in the NFL. But the last 4 games, they're at like 30%. That's atrocious.
Let me tell you, this wonderfully mediocre Chicago football team, a little bit above average, okay? But wonderfully mediocre NFL football team in the middle of the heap of all of the mediocre teams. And I told you how many there are, right? 4 great ones, 4 terrible ones. And
there's like 24 mediocre teams.
Is the mishmash in the middle, and you're somewhere in there.
Yeah.
You just lost to a 1-5 football team.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Yeah, but a team that's probably better than that. But I hear what you're saying.
You saw Houston beat San Francisco. You saw the Jets get their first win against the Cincinnati Bengals. You saw all types of, a little bit of goofiness, that was out there. Going on the road and winning a game is where you start proving things. The Bears could have gone to 3-1 on the road. Mm-hmm. They could have, but they didn't. They kept that flame alive for the Baltimore Ravens, and once the fans got into the game, once the players on that opposing team started to believe in their quarterback, and the proof was in the pudding, and it's fun when you can believe in your quarterback, right? And they did. Hot Rod Hundley out there getting the job done. Hot Rod Hundley making things happen out there. The confidence was there. At one point, he was 11 of 12, Carm. 11 of 12. It's like the Bears had nothing for them. They were playing a little softer coverage. They're probably being a little bit more conservative. Why? Because you have to be. You got somebody and somebody playing corners.
I know, it's hard.
You're so far down the depth chart, it's off the page. You got to turn the page. That's how far they are in the cornerback position to get to the next page because that's where their names are.
Their top 3 corners are out. You want to talk about cluster injuries? That is brutal. And we're not making excuses. That's the reality.
No.
Teams in this league have to deal with it all the time.
Every team is dealing with injuries.
And there's just, that's this league. So I'm not using it as an excuse, but to Jurko's point, I think Dennis Allen's doing things a little bit differently, almost because he has to, because what you have in your personnel. That said, you played a backup quarterback. A couple of backup quarterbacks around this league played this weekend, and they got their you-know-what's kicked in. They got trampled. They got stomped on. I don't know what Kirk Cousins, I mean, forget about it. Well, we knew that at the end of last year. Things that got so bad. They're like, we can't keep doing this. This is untenable. You can forget about it with Kirk Cousins. He can't move. It's it.
Yeah.
Same Andy Dalton, too. I mean, come on. So a couple of these backup quarterbacks around the league had to play. You see the result. The Bears got the good fortune of playing a backup quarterback, but they let it get away from them. They're going to play another backup, albeit in Joe Flacco. They're going to play another backup this week.
It's the right Joe, but boy.
Yes, you're dealing with a lot of injuries, but you feel like you're living a little bit of a charmed life when you know you're going to go to Baltimore and Cincinnati and not play Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. Are you kidding?
You thought that would be a bonus, yes.
So take advantage of it this week. But they got to flush this one, figure out what's gone wrong, fix the penalty thing.
That's your problem.
And go and win a game on the road this weekend.
All right, so here's my thing of sadness for you. Number 1 and 5 play for the Cincinnati Bengals.
You're
and
right.
It's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
You're right about that.
Now, if I'm a betting man, which I am, and I say
no, you're not.
1 and 5 against pick 2 numbers
24
of guys that happen to play corner for the Chicago Bears.
24 and 33.
I'm sorry, but Flacco is decent enough, scoring 38 points yesterday, to be able to deliver the ball to 2 very skilled wide receivers going up against our number 8 and our number 9 cornerback.
Okay, then you know what I'm doing? Justin Fields, before yesterday, had never won a game where the other team got to 22 points, right?
Right.
Wasn't that the stat?
That was the stat.
You know who I'm putting this on then? Offense, you better go get some in Cincinnati.
That's what it's going to have to happen.
Bengals defense is
terrible.
Putrid.
It is terrible. Yes.
It is absolutely
it is incumbent upon the offense
awful
to keep the Bears defense off the football field.
So if you have to go and win 35-31 on Sunday, go win 35-31.
Did you hear the stat the Jets had 325 yards on first down yesterday? On first down.
Is that right? I did not hear that.
That
almost seems that's impossible.
And 25 yards, unless you gain 15 yards on first down and you got first down again. Remember, there's more first downs in the game than there are third downs.
Yes.
Because there's a chance you get a first down on first down.
Of course, or second down.
So on first downs in yesterday's Jets game,
I did not hear that.
Jets gained 325 yards on first down.
That's incredible. I look at you pulling a great stat. I did not hear that
this morning.
That's great.
While we were all in the meeting, and Danny was giving us our inspiration to go in. So I naturally tuned him out and was listening to the TV.
So guess what? Go do that. Now, let's work our way coming up here when we come back into the Caleb conversation.
But the point is, it's not impossible for the Bears to go to Cincinnati and win a game.
No.
It's not impossible.
Impossible? They're a favorite.
Man, I know. But
the Bears are favored next week. They're a 2.5-point favorite.
I got a Jamar Chase touchdown. I got a T. Higgins touchdown next week. Who's tight end?
Gesicki.
I got Gesicki touchdown. Anybody else catch the ball for that team? I got
Chase Brown will catch the ball a little bit.
Touchdowns for them. And then the one time the Bears are going to make a play on
Huntley. Sovic will catch the ball.
And Huntley makes the mistake. Huntley makes the mistake of throwing the ball. And he's going to get it right over the middle. He's going to intercept it with a chance of it coming back to the house. Our defensive lineman tips the ball.
I know. Well,
and puts it behind him. I'm like, sweet mother of Jesus.
That's the way it's going.
What a break on the ball.
I know.
What a break on the ball.
I know.
And because he gets tipped a little bit, now it's behind him. And I'm like, oh, man.
That was Kevin Byard. He had it in his hands almost. And it got tipped.
Sometimes you just can't win to lose.
I know. That was brutal. All right. So let's talk about yesterday. Look ahead a little bit at the rest of this week. Kind of get the offense and the Caleb conversation here. It's not all bad. It's also not all that great. It's 24 games now. Yes, it's only 7 with Ben Johnson, and last year was a disaster, but there's another second-year quarterback who had a disastrous situation on his hands last year, and he looks like a world beater this year. So I don't want to hear that as just, last year. Let's try to have a somewhat civil conversation about this. Nobody's saying he's awful. He's better than Justin Fields. He's better than Mitch Trubisky. We all know that. This isn't bench him like they benched Bryce Young 2 years ago in Carolina. That's ridiculous. Bryce Young was beyond awful when they sat him down last year after a few games. Dave Canales looked at his quarterback and said, this can't happen. We got to fix this somehow, some way. And they did a little bit. This isn't that. Caleb's better, but it's not great. It's not great. And it's not as good as I was hoping it was going to be through 7 games.